to encourage me. I need some motivation. I need someone to give me an edge, just for me to feel positive, just for me to keep moving. Well, I want you to understand that no one is coming to motivate you. Nobody is coming to motivate you. So if you are waiting for a motivation message, then keep waiting. And sometimes, I don't know if you've listened to motivational speakers. I started my restaurant with round rice. I started my cold store with one chicken. The motivation message will sound so detached that you don't even end up being charged. Sure, Charlie. So I'm not saying motivation is bad, but motivation is bad when compared to discipline. If there is an option, if there's a choice, I would encourage you to choose discipline over motivation. Motivation makes you feel good. Hey, Kisi, oh, we did the money. Hey, Charlie, Obia Tombo fruit ababe bilone. Oti abose uti ya. I know, right? I know. Once I my tombo fruit ababe bilone. Kotone he, come bed no. Internet de be make come say. Very few people can be very open and plain about their process. What I say, very few people can be very open and plain about their process because not all processes may make sense. Some of them, they don't even want you to know the process. But then, it is always good to have the right information so that you can really align and position yourself well when conversations like this start. Kissing me too, and they mood in the strong pa. Yeah, that is why we all need to, speak truth to power. We need to talk about things that are practical, things that aligns with people, things that people can relate with. Because if not, many people would feel that to become successful is not part of their destiny. They will feel that they can never make it in life. And that is when the beauty of many lives shatters. There are many destinies. Hey, some more. He used to walk from Accra to Tema for 15 years. Charlie. And most of the time, the stories you will hear will make you feel like you can never make it in life. But that is not the truth. So we are telling you the truth here, so you need to pay attention to them. Alright? Yes. If you keep listening to motivational speakers, some of them would even make you feel so bad. But then, on the flip side, there are real principles that has been tested over time that work. Many principles work. They've been tested. And that is what I am sharing with you. So pay attention. As I said, grab your pens and your notebooks. I started my restaurant with round rice. How? Oh. Sometimes when you hear these things, you just smile. How can you start a restaurant with one rice? I started my poultry farm with one egg. Hey! Mr. Say, hey, so who take motivational speakers? I was with Boom say, are you in a different world? Obi say, Obi say, oh, now what is your success story? Also, the moon train, I'm successful. Give me the story, never. True, Mr. Say. And you see, many young people today are after phonetics, vibe, mood, but listen, that is not the reality. Many people are not ready to pay the price. There is the real price to pay. Yes. So let's go a little bit deeper into this topic. Charlie, kisia hiti. Hey! Ono ba na no di kan lay platform no. So me am who vibe no dey ba no. E Japan. Nti na me say me pontem no. Aha na eja to live him. Na me PC crash. Discipline over motivation. Please, if you've joined, like and share. There is someone who needs to hear this message. Knowledge to the max. Knowledge to the max. So share for someone to hear. Maybe someone is thinking they want to improve their lives, but they are not getting the right message. Someone is on TikTok watching Shake It to the Max. Let them come for knowledge to the max. So share, like, and share. Thank you for liking and thank you for sharing. So, why is discipline important and needed if you want to be on the path of success? I'm going to discuss some ideas with you, why I think, and then I would invite some of us to share our thoughts as well. I'm hoping that by 5:30, that's like an hour's time, we'll be done with this life. It's not going to take longer. One thing you need to understand is that motivation is temporal, but discipline is permanent. I repeat, motivation is temporal, but discipline is permanent. Now, have you realized that many people end up being addicted with so many things? For example, someone gets addicted with alcohol or any other thing. The reason is because they live by the same reward system as motivation is. The same reward system that works with motivation. It is that same reward system that works with addiction. It's the same template. It's not any different. Pay attention to this well. So, if you are always after motivation, there is a problem. Today, I want motivation to feel like the devil. Yes, because there is a better option for you. Anytime you are after motivation, it's like you are after, or you are like someone who is addicted to something. You see, addiction works in a way that thing triggers your dopamine. Okay, so dopamine is a hormone that is the happy hormone that is released in you. So it's like you are thirsty and you found water to drink. The way you feel, the reward system, when you are able to buy your house, you're able to buy your car, you're able to buy the phone, you receive your monthly salary, that feeling, that is how addiction system works. Now, if someone is addicted to something, and let's say they take a dose, it gets to a point, the dose doesn't bring that level of satisfaction, so they increase it. The moment they increase it, then they get to that level. So the cycle keeps happening and happening to the point where now the person now begins to consume over 10 times the dose they started with. Please pay attention to this so well. It's sad. Motivational speakers will make you feel like you are a lazy person. It's like you, success, and you are enemies. I'm enjoying you, Kissy. Yes. You're welcome, Abigail. I have some people who have been really consistent on my life, so I always give them a shout out, okay? Yeah. If you engage, I'll get to know you so that you'll also be receiving your shout outs. Pay attention to what I'm saying now. I'm giving you how the mechanism of motivation works. It is so similar to addiction. So the person will start with one dose. Then as they carry on, it's like that dose is not enough. So they keep increasing the dosage before they can get that level of excitement. Of course, Abi, you need your pen. You need your book. Yes, I'm not saying dopamine is bad. But you see, one thing is that, yes, I love that, Kissy. It depends on how you use it. Your life shouldn't be dependent on dopamine. You should have a solid structured system that regulates your life. It's like having values, right? So for example, as a young guy, your value is that I am not going to, for example, let's say I wouldn't go into that aspect. So let me say, if you say, I am not going to take anything that is not mine. If that is your value, that is your principle, I'm not going to take anything that is for someone. That means that no matter how beautiful that thing is, you are not going to take it. Your body will make you crave for it, but you say no. Why? Because you are living by principle. You see the difference? If you are living by your dopamine, maybe you wouldn't take someone's pen, but you want to take someone's money. You want to take someone's phone. That will make you feel good. So because you are going to feel good, you are going to take it. And that can cost you your life. Yes. Dopamine in itself is not bad. You see, but don't let dopamine control your life. That is where the problem is. So if you bought something and you are happy, the next time you don't have money, should you find another way to buy the same thing to feel happy? Because of your happiness, the whole world should collapse. Is that what you want to say? No. So there's a lot of similarities between motivation and addiction. One major one is that both of them depend on feelings. You see, when someone motivates you, you feel energized. You feel so good. You are like, wow, thank you so much. You've really said what I need to hear. This is what I need to hear. But you write nothing down. Please share the live. I want you to share the live, okay? Share with someone. Because there are a lot of people who are really confused. So share the live. Let's get other people to join in and learn. It's very important, okay? Share the live, all right? And tap on it. Tap on the live. Keep tapping on it and share the live. Let's get the live to 1K because I believe many people are home this weekend. And instead of watching Shake It to the Max, they should come for knowledge to the max. All right, so please, let's share. At least contribute your quota. Thank you for sharing, guys. Thank you for sharing. Let me see if I can share to this group. Yes. So, it is like, I want to show you why motivation is not good for you. You need it. You don't need it. It's good you have it, but you don't need to let your life depend on it. That is what I want to say. So, why or how does addiction compare to motivation. Both of them depend on feelings. When you're motivated, you feel good. Thank you. I'm energized. I'm going now. I'm not stopping. It's that same way. Okay? The excitement you get is that same feeling that someone who is addicted to something also gets. You see, today I'm painting motivation very black, but I will give you a better option. Addiction makes you feel pleasure temporarily. But you see, you don't need that. You don't want a temporary feeling. If you want to be successful, no. Imagine I tell you are going to be a billionaire for 1 second. How would you feel? You want to develop a behavior that can keep you constant and consistent on that path. Yes. So the first similarity is that motivation and addiction depend on feeling and not on discipline. Number 2, both of them trigger dopamine in the brain. When you are motivated, it spikes some dopamine. So it's like you imagine the success, you imagine something that is nice, you imagine something that is new, and you're so empowered. You are like, wow, I'm going for this thing. I remember when we were young and you want to speak to a lady and you are so shy. It's like, oh, I don't know how to say this thing. And one of your friends will come, Charlie, you be kind now. Charlie, John level, no, Charlie. That's a lady they were done for. Lady, they so pay. Then you'll be motivated only to get bounced. Oh, yeah, some more. Motivation. Sure. Motivation and my crab it me jina okra nim ka chen say na wo ye hwan. Ai, ya bounce one asa catch us say wo so nam me. But who say first no na wo hwe wo ho e na wo active o ti wo sha talegay de mi nyaw. But motivation ba here no. Who feel so baby and who we are say oh pa unya. Teacher say oh kokra wo sikra untwitwi kra wa hwe o de kwasa motivation e na akoye. I had to say demonstration baba Ghana and saying, hey, we will fight. After your 2 and a patch. You see, that is how motivation works. It triggers your dopamine. You're excited, you're empowered, but it is for a short time. Addiction spikes your dopamine when you use a substance or repeat habits like social media scrolling. Most of us say, sorry, I know, but the first thing I need to fire phone, near scroll. Oh, phone, now, why not have my phone? No, one Jenny say, oh, sorry, crown, can say thank you, Jesus. Or if you can say, will be too simple. Who need to crown, Kyei, phone on our share because you want to be scrolling. Yes, that is dopamine at work. But many people don't realize, you see, so this teaching should help you evaluate your life. And let me tell you for a fact, there are some things, they have become your habit. It will take a long time to change. But I always say that, you see, I remember when I was growing up, there was this thing I used to say, and I say, oh, share say, instead of so be theater gatem no, tito sofa so, and now the tito, you know, ebia carpet so, like, and koto got them because ni na ya hwiase o by be expensive. What I say? So for example, you are addicted to your phone, you are addicted to social media, fine, but use that experience to learn instead of so bad joining shake it to the max, no, but joining knowledge to the max. Until, you know, even though we are addicted to your phone to scroll, no, you are gaining something valuable. What I say? That's just by the way. Motivation and addiction, both of them have something in common, and that is short-term satisfaction. Tina me catch motivational speakers nimbo atie o ma ho. Ase bibie no antime nye. I started my restaurant with 1 rice. I started my poultry farm with 1 chicken. Wow. But when you speak to the real people, I have a friend who is into poultry farm, and he told me that he imported over 15,000 chicks or chicken in kitten and chicks from Netherlands to start his poultry farm. He spends 5,000 Ghana cedis to buy one of their feet, and he buys 4 every day. Sadi utable sutia because and no man can't tell me, no man catch me say me 1 chicken and not even cry 1 egg. No one catch or say akuko bi afri kosua mu na baaye. Nti sa kosua na woche no me menti me kosua. Me de sa kosua no ebe se incubatem ebe hwane na ya akoko. Sa akoko ba akunu mu no ubenya 5 million chicken. Betima start a poultry farm. Nti mi kosua ne o bi kosua me kosua. Me de me kosua no e go to incubatem. Ni e boy ensem. Wow. Nyanse kasa. Shit. Motivational speakers. Omo kanu we are no mosre. Omo ma speech ni we omo come say hey Jimmy for. Yenya omo. Muka answer that form. Yes. The person who will tell you the hard truth, you think they don't love you. The last time I said, Obi Uncle Jane get. Unti me show ho here get. What the other? Uka ko bi bakwa. Oh, Jawasem. Yes. We don't want truth. But truth always wins. Truth always wins. So please, you don't need motivation. Yeah? Yes. You need something else. Am I saying anytime motivation comes, you should say no? No. But if your life is dependent on motivation, there is a problem. You can't get to the end. Hey? Yes, you see, I am. Obian who besi da on tenase musa no say, oh, enough to finish. Like that ambition you have, ask yourself, do I have what it takes to get there? Because I say, what starting when we are home, a man for the ube too full. Say, and yes, I quite we or starting so see that with men we say, why than we zone. It means so if you don't want to be mocked, if you don't want to be the negative example in society, why you don't need motivation. And you see, one thing that motivation has, similar to addiction, which is really dangerous, and I repeat, very dangerous, is the dependency loop. Both addiction and motivation creates a dependency loop. Now, what is a dependency loop? Now, dependency loop is when you receive something, you need it again to be able to carry on, right? So it's like you need to come back again to gain the motivation. It's like someone takes the alcohol or whatever they are addicted to, then they are enticed, their dopamine goes up, but then the dopamine goes down again, so they need to take it again. Then they will need to come again, and they will need to come again, but it doesn't build anything ahead. It's just a repetition in the same cycle. I had to say, Oba, tembi opese, bema kachen say, you are beautiful. Look, they are willing to do everything to gain that comment from a guy. There are a lot of ladies on TikTok, they are doing so much just because they want someone to say you are beautiful. Yes. There are a lot of guys, they are showing their 6-packs and they are really doing so much. It's like they want to grow beard, they want to do everything so that a lady will say, oh, such a nice guy, I like your 6-packs. Just that. Why are people doing BBL? Why are people doing so much to themselves? Now, even guys are doing plastic surgery. Why? We just want the loop to continue. But you don't want that. You want to entrust your life and your future into something that is solid, that is forward moving and progressive. Yes. And you say, there are some people in this life, when you look at their story, we learn a lot from that. Obi to say, David said, the Bible says that he encouraged himself in the Lord. David was never waiting for someone to encourage him. Charlie, or no, encouraging him. Until now, no, only dependent on it. He has a form of control over that. No wonder he was a successful king. Until Mr. If there is something I would recommend to you today, or recommend for you today, is to always choose discipline. Now, let me break discipline a little bit for you. Discipline is not nice, it's not preferred, it's difficult. Yes. What were you expecting? That is the hard thing to do. But that carries the key to success. So if you are hungry for success, you want to be successful, then this is something you should be ready to go through. Let me give you a good picture. You see, motivation is like taking a shower. Anytime you take a shower, the next day you will need another shower. You can't say that I took my bath last year, so I'm okay. Or I took my bath last week. And if anyone asks you, oh, why have you not taken your bath? Oh, I took my bath last week. Oh, I'm okay. People think you are crazy. That is how motivation is. You would always need it over and over again. And you see, many young people start projects, okay, with so much energy, but they give up when the motivation dies. Oh, why have you stopped? No, people are not coming. Nobody is saying anything. It looks like there's no help. Meanwhile, if you had built it on a principle that, okay, this business I've started, I'm going to market it for 6 months consistently. Look, you need to stick to it, whether people show up or people are not showing up. That is discipline, because now you have given yourself a timeline and you are sticking to it. You are not basing that on the feedback, neither are you basing that on the emotions or how you feel. So you will go into your room and cry and come back again and continue. Yes. And many of us, we don't have the mental strength for that. We have not been trained. And you see, most of us carry our childhood behaviors into adulthood. I'm sorry to say this, but that's the truth. Children always, if they need something and the mom or dad says that no, they would cry, no, I need it, mommy, no. And the mom will give you. You think that is how life is? Life will show you pepe. As for life, you can't lie down and say, no, give it to me. Nobody will mind you. That is why there are people who are over 30 years and their parents are still feeding them. They don't think something is wrong with it. You see, that is a problem. That is why I said clarity of vision. When you have a clarity of vision, you would be really inclined to understand the discipline you need to achieve what you want to achieve. They asked Michael Jordan, what has been the secret of your success? Do you know what Michael Jordan said? He said he was throwing shots, 1,000 shots every day throughout his career. Now think about it. Throwing basketball 1,000 every day. That is his training. So to throw 1,000 shots every single day, that's a lot of work. I'm just imagining how much pain he will feel in his arm. But you see, some of us are not so disciplined. And unfortunately, I think our age, things have become so difficult because you see, we have a lot of evidence of results, but there's limited evidence of the process. For example, just scroll past this live or go on social media right now. You see a young guy driving a Lamborghini. You see a young lady in a very beautiful posh wedding. It's like there are a lot of results, but there's lack of information on the process. And the people with the results can't even give you information about their own process. Only God knows. When you ask them, oh, nyame na yo, mi nyame ye. And so we have a lot of proof of results. Yes. But where is the evidence of the process? Because you can't wake up to a destination. You need to go through a process to get to a destination. Imagine you want to move from Kumasi to Accra and you wake up from your bed and you're in Accra. That is a big news. But obviously, you need to plan. Okay, I'll need to catch the bus. At this time, I need to book my ticket. If I would go by flight, I would need to do this. I'll need to do this. I need to speak. Yes, that is the process. But most of the time, people tell us, I came from Kumasi, I am in Accra. We don't know how they got to Accra. So many young people have so much energy and passion for success, but they lack information. They lack knowledge about process. They don't know the price to pay. And as a result, many of them have found themselves in many terrible conditions and situations that they can't even come out. One lady shared a story, and I think she's a lecturer in one very good university in Ghana, actually. And she said that she noticed that one of her students was struggling and she wanted to help the student. So she got to the student and asked her, why? What's your problem? And so she started a conversation with, this is a young girl in a university in Ghana. And the lady said, oh, so to start the conversation, the lecturer asked the lady, where do you plait your hair? And she's like, oh, I plait it at this salon. And the lecturer was shocked because the lecturer knew that salon is very expensive. So she was really interested. Like, oh, wow, you plait your hair there? She was like, yes. And she said, but why would you go there? Because you are struggling. And she said, oh, they would take a video and put it online. They take a video and put it on social media. So they have a very, massive traffic on their social media platform. So I go there so that they will take a video of me and put it on their social media platform. And the lecturer was like, wow. Just because you be put online, you are spending thousands to plait your hair there. Meanwhile, that same money could help you to save to start a business. And that is what is happening to our youth today. Many young ladies want to drive expensive cars, but they don't even know how much it costs to buy engine oil. You see, so they will go to their friends and say, oh, I want to also have the car. Then they'll say, okay, you need to do this with this man. You need to connect with this person. You need to be part of this. And now they are confused. And now they are like, oh, I also want it. Listen, please don't let anybody give you any pressure. That is the first level of life. Tell yourself, nobody is giving me pressure. I remember when I came to Ghana, after I came to do my master's in the UK, everyone was like, hey, boga, bad down. Charlie, me call Ghana, no ma fat trotro. We say, boga, o fat trotro, what could you care about? O fat trotro. Hey, oye pepe, what could you nyamia do more cobrache or your scholarship, papa, like, o fat trotro. Masete la kwa koto wachi, masete la kwa koto diefu. Like, maybe I'm moving you. So I read. Do you know what I was doing? I said to myself, whatever money I've been able to gather, let me put it there. If God brings an opportunity and someone wants to help me, the person will say, how much have you saved? You see, because you were given an opportunity. You came to the UK to do your master's. Your master's was funded and everything. The person will say, so how much were you able to save? Before they would even help you, because if you have nothing, that means you are not worth investing in. And that is what has happened to many people. They think that when their helpers come, their helpers are bringing all the help. Well, for your information, your helper will find out if you are worthy to be helped. Do you qualify for their help? Are they investing in someone worth wow, or they are throwing their money away? Look, you will see a young person using iPhone 14 Pro Max. And the sad thing is that they only use the phone for WhatsApp and call. They don't even know how useful they could use the phone for. But they are home unemployed. Like, how? Sometimes I try to understand. Misplaced priorities. And you want to be successful. Look, success will be very far from you because there are the principles that leads to it. And you see, let me tell you, nobody is interested in your life that much to come and advise you. So if you don't advise yourself, you would go through that same path, praying and fasting and still end up like that. Look, nobody cares about you. Everybody is too busy. And as a matter of fact, many people are struggling. They want to find a way to come out of their challenges. They care less. So the earlier you learn, the better. Please share the live, okay? Share the live. This is a very transformative live. Other people need to hear. You see, there's one principle in life. Anything that benefits you, recommend for someone. If you recommend for that person or you recommend for someone, you open yourself up for resource. That is how it works. So please share, okay? At least you can share with your friends or repost. You can just repost or tap, just do it because someone would need to be blessed by it. Many young people are now chasing advice on relationships. Sometimes I'm like, you've not even discovered yourself. You are wasting hours of data on how to win a woman's heart. So when you win the heart, what are you going to use it for? What are you going to use the heart for? Oh dear. I've seen a lot of podcasts nowadays. Look, the guys today, we want ladies who are blah, blah, blah. And all of them have never married. They don't know the responsibility that comes by taking care of somebody's child. But they are walking around giving advice up and down because they know what the youth wants. They know what people want to hear. So they will keep tickling your ears. But let me tell you, nobody is coming to save you. Okay? Today, in my mentorship class, I said something that was very profound. I told everyone that, listen, one way you can make a difference in your life is first be honest with yourself. Look, if you are not Dadabi, don't live like a Dadabi. You are living your life as if you are the top guy. Thinking that you don't need him. Yes. Stop using things that is above you. Always make sure that if someone is looking at you, they judge you. You see, even Bible says that men look at the outward appearance. So look, if you come to me for help and I see you, I will first price you to say, oh, Charlie, this person doesn't need any help. And that is how we are. But you see, I understand presentation really matters. You want to present yourself in a very good way. You don't want to present yourself very bad. But please, it doesn't mean present yourself very expensive to the extent that you are costing more than your helper. You are going for a job interview as a secretary. You came with a Range Rover. And the manager was watching you from the window. Meanwhile, The man who came to drop you is your sugar daddy. So, look, you've complicated your whole situation. Humility is key. And when we say humility is key, it's not just how you talk, how you present yourself. Living by your means. Aboga out for taxi. Aboga out for trotro. Look, abobo ya krane afro. Because me timi mfa kakra me dia bagana me diri na be yeso. Afi obu afo ba. O say, oh, me ko yuke bihwe ni me ho. You are not disciplined. You are not worth investing in. The moment I needed help and I called people, look, it was like I was prophesying to myself. The moment I said, oh, I've gotten this PhD scholarship, I need to do this, blah, blah, blah. The first thing they said was, so how far? How is your preparation? I was like, oh, I've been able to do this from this. I've been able to do this from that. So I need this to be able to achieve that. They're like, don't worry, I can do this, speak to this, blah, blah, blah. Pew. So if I had said, well, I need to impress. Bogantimi nyemre. Bema ne bema itu twesi bema bo. Bema ne do timi spend it. Then I'll be throwing money around. The time will come and I'll begin to blame God. Look, many Christians blame God for no reason. Oh God, why? Banyami kasansa unti. So please, take a stock of your life. Tell yourself, listen, I want to change my life. Be sincere and honest to yourself. And don't pretend. You see, one of the things that happens to many people is that they deceive themselves. Look, you can deceive yourself. It's not all the time that people come to deceive you. You can deceive yourself. You can think you are something, but you are nothing. The Bible says that if any man thinks that he knows anything, he knows nothing yet as he ought to know. It applies in every way. What started business? Kakreba, young guy, instead of you planning for your future, planning to live a stable life. You see, stability is when you're able to create a system that reproduces on its own to the extent that you don't have to kill yourself or overwork yourself to be able to get to that level. Instead of creating a loop of success for yourself, kakrabano, you are chasing women. Sometimes one of the things that saddens my heart is that in our society, we have created a society where we make women feel that they can't do much. They need men to succeed. It is never true. When you travel to Europe, big positions are held by women and they are competent. Oh, they are very competent. So the day we decide that, look, the day you tell yourself, I want to change my story, no matter whether you're a man, you're a woman, things will change. So don't believe what society is telling you. Create your own society. Create your own expectation. Don't let society put the expectation on you. Hey, when we invest in worry, you have nothing to do with your life. What are you there? Oh dear. I know people very, very ambitious, promising future, receive prophecies of greatness, but they married at the wrong time, and that was it. Now they are in serious financial problem. But obuwa fokraba umu waware uniska ka kware waware awo chale we okay bema de dinyina aka ho na ya two for we will just speak words to garnish your situation and leave you there. So please, if you're a woman, look, don't think that, oh, your share best is for the bema beware. Look, let me tell you, I said this on my live the last time, that most of the ambitious young men of these days, they look for what you can also contribute to them. They think about their children. They think about what kind of woman is going to raise my kids. Are they even ambitious themselves? So you need to probably be doing something with your life. And that is when even all the fake guys will run off, because they know that this is a virtuous lady. She's not my type. They want the ladies who are after compliment. You see, the ladies who want men to tell them that, oh, I like your bum bum, you look so sweet. Oh, that kind of vibe. But serious men, they want serious women. Yes. As I said, you see, this platform is knowledge to the max. Sweet Debbie, are you there? Let me fill you in the comment section. Knowledge to the max. People are shaking to the max, but we will go for knowledge to the max. Because you see, you never know that you may be the future president of Ghana, but you are messing up now. If you like, go and speak to the minister, speak to even Mahama and ask him that when he was 20 years old, did he ever thought that he'll be president? He will tell you, well, he never knew. That is how destiny is. That is why you need the right information in your youth, because you see, if you are ordained for greatness, it may never happen. There are many people who has left this earth without achieving a dot of whatever they were ordained to do. So seek wisdom. Seek things that would give you the right information to propel your life for the better. And you see, again, society. See, oh, if we vote for this president, if we vote for this man, he will come and change our problem. He will come and change our plight. He would come and make jobs available for the youth. Look, nobody is coming to save you. Create your own. You did biological science, so you are waiting for biological science job. Ha! You will keep waiting forever. You see, sometimes we need people to tell us these realities, these truths. Yes. And when you focus, say, do you know what it means? Everybody needs guidance. Everybody needs wisdom. And there is no limit to wisdom. And I always say that most of the time on the journey of success, okay, I don't know how you view success. Let me explain success to you in plain terms. Success is when you're able to get to a place and you're able to maintain yourself at that place and keep moving to another place, and you maintain yourself to another place, and you create a system so that you remain there to the end, to the extent that your children and your children's children still comes to benefit at that level. So let's say you create a company. Success means that you have been able to create a company. The company stays alive till you are going out of, or you are checking out of this earth, and your children come to take over the company, and your children's children also comes to take over that same company. So anytime you are seeking information about progress, anytime you are seeking information about success, ask yourself, how far can this information take me? Most of the time we go for information that will give us the spark to start, and we get to a point and remain there, and then we come back to our level. And this is what happens to many people. Ask yourself, how many Ghanaian companies have been able to transcend a century? But when you come to the UK, there are companies that are over 10 generations. Do you know why? Because they found those companies on principles. So if the owner of the company, if none of their children is competent, they will employ someone to take over. Yes. So these things I'm teaching you are principles that if you engage with them so well, you can maintain success. It's not enough to achieve success. You should be able to keep it. Do you understand? Because if you achieve success and you don't keep it, it will be said that, oh, this person was able to rise, but they came back down. So discipline is something you need, because everything will depend on it. Discipline is what separates achievers from dreamers. When you dream big. Most of us have a lot of dreams. I love the way sometimes they put it on, say, oh, nipa or plans on esikasem. We always find a reason to give an excuse. Misplaced priorities. But you should be ready to challenge yourself. No matter the level you find yourself, there's a higher level you can attain. No matter where you find yourself, there's a level you can achieve. That is why I've set up my mentorship program. Today I was in a conversation with one of my mentors, and I told him that I've set up a mentorship program on TikTok for free, young people who are interested, and today we had our first, he was so moved and he said, look, I would come to speak to them. Any support they need, I'm willing to provide. Look, this is how it works. You need to associate with someone on a similar journey. You need, many people, young people don't have mentors. The last time I said, look, your generation, we are home. For why now? Because the older people are busy chasing young girls. Most of them are busy chasing young girls. Oma Kayumo, they are chilling. Inti Obia. Oh, truth. Please, if you're on this platform and you want to be part of my mentorship, send me a message, okay? Send me a message. Everything is free. Everything is free. You join the platform, get to know other people, and then you'll be given a task. You are literally going to be pushed. If you are not ready to succeed, then please don't contact me, because this is for people who are serious. And I always use myself as an example because, look, people didn't believe in me, you see. There were people who told me that, look, school now, coming the upper side there. There are people who laughed at me when I took certain decisions. But the principles are always sure. Principles, if they fall on you, they will grind you. But if you fall on them, you also be broken. They are very important. So please, don't chase after motivation. Send me a message on TikTok. Okay, Mentor Che, just send me a message on TikTok that you are interested in the mentorship, and I would get you to be part of it. I'll send you the details and everything. And as I said, everything is free. Now we are going to start a book reading. We are going to start a book reading. So there's a developmental book we are going to read and review. Yes, challenge yourself. Enough of the cocomelon. Yes. Anyway, let's continue. So discipline is what separates achievers from dreamers. Okay? So let me give you an example. A student may not feel motivated to study daily, but with discipline, they schedule their study hours and stick to them. You see the difference? You may not be motivated to study, but choose not to study and see how you end up. So you set a time. I am going to read every 1 hour. Look, I remember when I was in the university and I went to do politics. So I went to contest for SRC president and I lost. Okay, went on runoff. I didn't have money because university students need money. I didn't have money, a jabba. But then when I went into the politics and it affected my grades, and I told myself, look, I know my future depends on my results, so I have to back up. Then it was hard to read because imagine losing election. People, look, university, they will mock you. They were mocking you, and at the same time, you need to do well in your exam. So I had to give myself time. Every Saturday, I am going to study from 7 to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Look, like joke, I would pack my food in my bag, put the subjects I want to study, and go to the classroom. Whether I have the feeling, I don't feel like it, it didn't matter. I am leaving this place by 7 p.m. Hey! Look, I'll be dozing. I said, no, I need to stick to this because I can't afford to fail. And you see, I don't know where our motivation comes from most of the time. Look, let me give you one secret, okay? This is a secret. Don't tell anybody. Anytime you have an ambition, and that ambition is linked to only you, the driving force is low. Maybe you didn't hear. I'm saying, if you have an ambition, okay, no matter whatever you want to do with your life, and that ambition is tied to only you, the driving force is low. So, if you want to get yourself to reach a destination of impact, don't have a selfish ambition. There was something I always told myself. I told myself, you know, many destinies are tied to mine. So if I fail today, maybe thousands of young people will fail because they need me. And that is how it is. So I said, well, I need to study because I don't want my child to struggle. I want to be able to support my mother. I want to be able to support my family. And apart from that, there are even unborn children who will be waiting for me to teach them or to impact them in one way or the other. So if I fail, and I stand before God, what will I tell God? That because of this, I couldn't achieve. It is too expensive. So, for the sake of the people I need to help, let me keep pushing. Don't you know that's the secret for Jesus being able to die for us? He despised the shame. But if your dream is only you, if the driving force of your ambition is only you, you can say, oh, na me kra me ha me ho ageden. Ewi asekra de ko he. Ah, girlfriend ya me wo bi. E dan kra me papa wo one room. Enti ade na me ha me ho sa. Chere. Yes. So please, this is a secret. You can write it down. Any ambition that is tied to only you has a very minimal driving force. I remember way back in SHS, when we go to do mining, so it's like we go to study. Oh, how about say, boys need be able to me home. Hoping in be a basic na. Oh dear. Me home. Hoping in be a basic na. Just say, yeah, you see, idea no, we are just killing ourselves. Ade we are see the coin. You see, those narratives, don't entertain them. They can kill your vision. Oh, nipa say there. Ghana ha crowd be kwa enko bow. Oh, challenge. Who the challenge? I know the 50 years. Now she see what problem. But oh dear, catch on say there are people waiting for the baton from you. Enko si baby Abigail, enko si baby ken kwa. Nipa say there. Ade who be that? There na mother. You know, they have that vibe. Now I say a ginger. Me kra me nsia bio. Lecture dey be si. O dey tena ho. Whilst you are doing that, there are people who are so focused, who are pushing, who are not stopping. And you see, sometimes Eyama ejabafo. Ejabafo means that ni bu papa ni bi anko nam school na o kono cry the boss na show. Look, let me tell you, statistics shows that if one of the parents of a child is educated, if one, and most of the time the evidence considers the mother, if one of the parents is educated, that child has a higher possibility of becoming successful in life compared to someone who is coming from a very deprived home. And this works across. Look, even in the UK, most of the deprived locations, it affects the children. Most of the good schools are even not in the deprived locations. So your mom has not got any investment, your dad has not got any investment, your dad doesn't have any business. You are the one in the family, the only one in the family that has been sent to university, and you are cooking and sending it to a boyfriend. Hey! Your generations are going to beat you. You see, sometimes we don't get people to tell us some of these truths. I'm telling you. When I was in SHS, let me tell you, when I was in high school, my mom told me something, and that thing became a fuel, that drove me so strongly. She said, look, you see where you are from. All I have is my clothes. The day you impregnate somebody, you have destroyed the family. So please, consider this clothes and work hard. And I know you, I gave birth to you. You can't do any construction job. You don't have any energy for that. All you have is this mind God gave you. So I wouldn't say don't go and take any girlfriend. I wouldn't say don't bring any lady, because my mom wasn't like that. She told me, look, but understand that the day you fail, you have destroyed the family. That day, I told myself, I will fight for my future. Ha! But you see, we are in a generation where now young people garnish adultery, young people garnish fornication, and it's like, As a guy, what's your body count doesn't matter. You need more. Look, you are destroying your future. And you see, it's that serious to the extent that even when you become rich and you get married, you can use that to destroy your life. Because you can't stay with one person. Your experience is over the moon. So for the sake of your future, and don't be too selfish, because it is not just only you. Your children are watching. If you are not faithful to your wife, your children will watch. They will be broken, and they too will go into a society that is broken, and they will keep being broken. And if you are dead and you are watching from heaven, if you end up there or wherever you find yourself in, you are seeing your children struggling in the system. You understand what I'm saying? You see, this burden has been so strong upon my heart because I feel many young people lack direction. And sometimes the truth has not been told to us. We see the beauty, we see the Range Rovers, we see the Lamborghinis, we see the musicians display wealth, display riches, but the process is missing. So it's like you are standing and there's a huge gap in between. How do you get there? And they'll tell you, fake it till you see it. Please don't fake anything. You are who you are. It is what it is. So discipline. If there's nothing you have, look, without discipline, you can never get anywhere. Have you not heard? The last time I made a statement, I said, have you ever heard or saw in the news that Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, a lady has come out to say that they have done something to them, so they want to take them to court to spoil their name or take their wealth? Discipline. Look, Cristiano Ronaldo, when he started, when you study about him, he had a lot of ladies, but at some point he stopped and he stuck to one lady up until today. As for Lionel Messi, he knew his girlfriend way back when they were children, and he has stuck to that lady. So even their name carries weight, not just because they play football. They have become standard. Now they are even over 35, etc., even 40 years, and they are still playing football. Do you know why? They have been consistent. So if you lack discipline, you can work so hard to get to your destination, but you can't remain there. A lady would come and shake it to the max, and now you throw away all your future. Yes. So pick any field. Look out for the people at the top. You would see there is something consistent about their lives. Discipline. So I gave you an example. A student may not feel motivated to study, but with discipline, they schedule a time. I am going to read today, whether I feel like it or not, whether I like it or not, whether my girlfriend calls me or not. This time, I'm studying. That is discipline. And you see, let me tell you, sometimes there's a lot of negative whisper in your ears to tell you that, hey, what if you tell this person to live your life? Maybe they'll become successful in the future. You see, because you are not doing the right thing, you think you too won't be successful. I never thought like that. Look, one of the things I was so consistent about was that I was so sure about my future, because I said, look, I'm not fooling like how others are fooling. Oh. So even with that, I know God will remember me. Do you understand? Yes, believe in your future. We have a society where young people can't believe in their future. They are being told, say, omuti ti se konko, omuti se kube. Kube nso dey na wom. If you believe in yourself, you won't sell your life out cheap. Many young ladies are deceived to think that, oh, the guy would say, if I leave you, who will marry you? Stick with me, oh, because husbands are hard to find. The Bible even says that many ladies will come and tell a guy, put your name on us. So please, if you leave me, who said it? Who said it? Do you know the number of people finding good men? It depends on where your ear is. But you see, it is not enough to have confidence in God to say that God will do. You need to believe in yourself for God to even know that you believe in yourself before it happens. isn't it? In the mouth of two witnesses. So even if you are praying about something, God will check to see whether you yourself, you believe what you are confessing. You see? Yes. But you see, the beautiful thing about success is that success is no respecter of age. It is a respecter of principles. The owner of KFC was over 50 years, and yet his business has stood till date. There is nothing that you set yourself up to do that you can't do. The last time in my life, I talked about your environment shapes you. Find yourself in the right environment. Some of you, your friends are destroying you. You don't have good friends. All your friends have sugar daddy. And you think you'll be exempted. Even if you never had some, when they see that you have a good man who will marry you and give you a future, they will tell them that, you see, they were sharing the men with you. Nobody cares about you. Look, and these things are principles for life. Look, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody cares about. Look, there are over 8 billion people on this earth sharing the little resources on this small planet Earth. You think someone cares for you? The little mistake you make can cost you a fortune of your life. And you see, there is one mentality I have. I always say that I don't like negativity and negative news. Do you know why? In every storyline, there are two sides. So for example, if you want to work so hard, let's say a young man says that, I don't want to chase women, I want to chase an ambition. Someone will tell you, look, do you know Kwame Atta? Kwame Atta was very ambitious, but nothing came out of his life. Anytime there is a story, there are two sides of it. Anytime there is a journey, there are two parts to it. So if you decide that I want to be ambitious, I want to pursue, let's say you want to be a fashion designer, someone will come and tell you that, do you know the number of fashion designers in Ghana? But then there will be another person who can tell you that, listen, you can create a unique brand. These are voices, but they are separate and different voices. So who are you listening to? Who is your motivation? Who has been speaking into your life? That's why I said you need discipline. Because if you have discipline, you stick to the principles. You don't stick to the sentiments and the emotions. You can improve. Your life can get better. You think you are not good enough. That is a lie. It is just based on where you find yourself. If you decide to work on that thing you think you have weakness in and see. Especially our brothers and sisters who are Christians, they leave everything to the devil. They leave everything to God. Oh, God will do this. Oh, it is the devil. Go and read about the people in the Bible. Go and read about Joseph. I didn't read a lot that Joseph spent more time praying, and yet we see that he was able to come out of every situation. Why? Most of the time it was just the values he has built. Oh, Daniel prayed. Yes, prayer is important. Never underestimate prayer. But understand that their principles are involved. The Bible says that Daniel purposed in his heart that he will not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat. What have you purposed in your heart? Imagine, do you know, look, maybe you don't understand the intensity of the situation I'm talking about. In those days, if you reject a king's food, you are as good as dead. A king's food, you can be easily taken away. But the man said he purposed in his heart and he was so consistent to it. Yeah. One thing that saddens my heart is that there are few people telling the truth online. Yes. There are few people telling the truth. If you keep going on TikTok, you see a lot of people giving relationship advice, but they are single. They don't know how it takes or what it takes to live under the same roof with another person from a different family. But they will give you all the tick boxes. They can't even manage their own relationship. And when you listen to these people, you think it's easy. But the moment you start, you begin to get frustrated. That's why many people are frustrated, because they are told the easy stories. They are told it's simple, it's quick, it's so good, you can. But they don't know how to go there. But you see, there are universal principles that have worked over time. The reason why they are not popular is because they are difficult. They are not attractive. And they are going to take a lot from you. Yes. Discipline can cost you your relationship. Discipline can take away your friends. Discipline can mean that you'll be lonely. Discipline may even require that you save your money and stay hungry sometimes. Boga Alosman, me dear Diana, I would wait till evening before I eat, because I can't be spending all my money. I had a target that I don't need to reduce the money I've saved to this level. So it got to a point, my mom will ask me, I'll say, I don't have money. Then I started to look for a job, because I need to find a way to top up, but I wasn't getting a job. I stayed in Ghana for 1 year without a job, and yet I was able to keep my savings intact. Do you know why? Discipline. You just started a business. You started making profit. Now you want everybody to see you have arrived. I posed the question the last time. I said, do your research. How many businesses in Ghana have stood for a century? Like 100 years. Come to Europe. There are thousands of businesses that have stood the test of time, because they were built on values. They were built on principles. The same thing applies to your life. Yes, your environment is important, but your environment can never define you. You are the architect of your own life. As a man thinketh, so is he. If you think you are a victor, if you think you are a success, if you think your life is full of good things, your actions will connote and complement your thinking, and the results will begin to show. Let me tell you for a fact, from my little experience here in the UK, I've been through certain quarters and seen black people hold noble positions. And they are held in so much respect and esteem. And anytime I get to interact with them, there's something I find. Their thinking is different from a normal Ghanaian mentality. You know what I'm talking about? They think differently. They think so differently. So, your future is in your hands. The Savior that is coming to save you, look into the mirror. That is that Savior. If you are waiting for a Messiah, the Messiah is going to show up the day you pick a mirror and put it in front of you. Be ready to rewrite your story. It's never late. This is not a motivation message. This is a value message. I'm teaching you values that work. Please share the live, okay? I know some of you are doing so well by sharing, but please share. Many young people don't have direction, and they are watching Shake It to the Max. This is knowledge to the max. So please share. Let someone else hear about it. So if I were you, I would dedicate, look, find like 4 hours. Yes, find 4 hours, maybe next week. This is a task I'm giving you if you want to do it. Find 4 hours, okay? And tell anyone who is around you that you are busy. These 4 hours, this is what you're going to do. Sit down and think about your life. Think deeply about your life. Take stocks about your life. Ask yourself, where am I now? Where do I want to be? How do I get there? What kind of people do I need in my life? What kind of people do I need to get rid out of my life? And tell yourself, I'm never going to blame the economy. I'm never going to blame any political party. I'm never going to blame my country. I'm going to give all the blame to myself. Look, when I came back from the UK, I was very motivated to support my country. So I tried my best to look for a job. Look, I went to places, they told me I had to pay 20,000 before I get a job. And I was like, the yearly salary for this job is not even that amount. Then I realized that it wasn't working. But I didn't sit back to say, oh, it's not working, what do I do? No. I said, okay, what can I do? What is in my capacity? Then I started to do online courses. I did my research. I found free courses. And you see, the beautiful thing is that some of these courses, they add to your, CV. Sometimes when you go for an interview, they ask you about the gaps in your employment. The gaps in your employment. You see, sometimes they ask you not to say that you should have found a job, but they wanted to do they want to do what you were doing at that time. Were you still adding value to yourself, or you were resting at that time? Look, due to AI, there are a lot of possibilities. A lot. I was teaching about digital marketing, and I was like, look, just digital marketing, you will learn so much. You can learn about coding. You can learn about creating. You can learn something. And let me tell you, if you're a lady, don't think coding is for men. No, as a matter of fact, most of the wildest coders I've seen here in the UK are women. Brilliant. Learn something. Don't say that I did this course, so I'm not getting a job, I'm waiting. Who are you waiting for? You wait forever. The future is for them who work towards it. It's not for them who wait for it, because the future is ahead. You need to meet it. You don't wait for it. Do you get what I mean? Be innovative. Challenge yourself. Yes. Find a mentor. Find someone who is doing something that can guide you. I always say that a person without a mentor struggles. Like if a person without a mentor struggles 100%, a person with a mentor struggles just 30%. I'm telling you. At a point in my life, when I finished my PhD, I was just about finishing, and I was looking for a job, and I got 2 opportunities. One job offers a better probably salary, the other doesn't, and I was so confused. But then the other was something that was going to give me so much experience, and I was torn between the 2. But because I had mentors, I went to my mentors and I said, I have these opportunities. Then they shared their experience. Because they've been in the field for a while, and they said, no, don't go for this one, go for this one. These are the benefits you gain from that. And I never regret that decision. Imagine your father has not gone to the university, your mother has not gone to the university, and you are going to the university to do a course, and you go to your mother to say, ma, I'm going to the university, what course should I do? How can you be this wicked? How would your mother know the course you should do? You need to find the right person to inform you. Many people are doing courses because their mates were doing it. But in life, we don't have mates. Joe. So discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Yes. Be ready to do the uncomfortable things. Be ready to challenge yourself. Please, don't relegate your life to God. When Jesus came, he did his part. You need to do your part. You can't be lazy around and think that you would have dominion. Funny. Yes. Be able to set targets that by the end of this month, I want to do this. By the end of this year, I'm building my TikTok page. I'm building my Facebook page. I'm launching my brand. I know there are bigger names there, but I'm not stopping. I'm going to be consistent for 6 months before I review my progress. Sometimes the targets we give to ourselves are so short term. It's like, by next week, if I start the business and things don't look, do you know the years it's taking for people to see breakthrough in their business? And you see, let me give you this phenomenon. Maybe it will help you to understand. Look at any tree that grows so high, their roots go deep. Do you know why? Because if a tree goes so high, anytime a wind blows, the force of the wind on that tree is stronger than the tree that is short. So that vision, that ambition that you have, that you want to start, maybe, just maybe, it is actually a global venture. Maybe it is a national asset. You see, that is why destiny is very important. Anyone who don't believe in destiny, sometimes I wonder. Look, the beautiful thing about destiny is that you will never see the end. You need to go through the process to see the end. So you may be the person who is going to set up the next big innovative business in Ghana. But when the idea came, it came as a thought. And most of the time, the people who are able to set up such businesses, they have the toughest stories to tell. I tried, it didn't work. I tried. Yes, because your roots need to go deep. Because that will give you tenacity to keep the business longer. Do you know what it takes to serve 30 million people? Do you know what it takes to get people's mouths on you? Do you know what it takes to survive political power changing hands at times and times? You will run away and leave your business. So sometimes it is part of the training. That TikTok account you want to build, that business you want to start, you may never know that you would be working with tough brands in future. But if you don't know the pain of keeping it alive, you won't have the strength to keep it alive. Yes. So, and one thing is that everyone's story is different. Oh, I started my restaurant with 1 rice. Maybe you need 3,000 rice to start your restaurant. Sometimes you want to lose weight. You're like, oh, I want to check my weight. But when the alarm rings, you're like, oh, maybe tomorrow. Discipline will force you to wake up. Oh, yes. But you see, we don't get people to tell this truth. And those we find to don't open up, and they are not honest to us. So, I leave you with this. Success is not owned. It is rented daily. And the rent is paid with discipline. I repeat, success is not owned. Nobody owns success. That is why even Elon Musk is still finding ways to keep his money surviving, because the day he stops, he loses everything. Nobody owns success. We rent it daily. And that rent you pay with discipline. That means that discipline must be part of your daily venture. It is not an occasional thing. You can be so disciplined to set up your business, but indiscipline can cost you years of sacrifice. Yes. So if you are watching as a young person, there are opportunities around you. Enough of the complaint. Enough of allowing people to make you feel like a failure. Enough of having bad friends who can't even make you dream beyond your bed. Enough of thinking that the only achievement you can have in this world is to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or to get someone to pay your debt. No. I said something the last time. There's one fear I have. One fear I have is that I feel that if the youth or young people, we the young people in Ghana, we are not very hardworking and we don't wake up, foreigners are going to take over. Look, I'm serious. Do you know what's happening in China? Now, China more is all over Ghana. Things are so cheap. So very soon, if even you open a shop, it's likely that people won't buy because there are cheaper options. Where are the entrepreneurs? Where are the ambitious young people who can start something and found it on discipline to make it happen? Ask yourself, how many businesses in Ghana are owned by Ghanaians? How many? Now we are trying to convince Ghanaians outside to come back to invest in the country. But the people there, what are they doing? You know, Uncle Boy said something which was really true. He said, I see, Ghanaians are not hospitable. We are only hospitable to foreigners. Someone can travel from their country and come to Ghana and make it big. But Ghanaians, they'll be sabotaging one another. But you see, decide to be a different one. And if you're a foreigner in Ghana, also, you are a Ghanaian. Do you understand? Yes. See that you can also make a difference. Think differently. Act differently. Yes. And I end with this. I want to invite anyone who is interested in becoming successful to join my mentorship. Okay. So I have a mentorship that I'm offering to young people. Whether you are young or not, I don't care. The goal is to really empower us to think differently. I believe environment shape us. Sometimes many people lack mentorship. We are making wrong decisions up and down. Sometimes you need someone to carry a cane at your back and ship you when you are wrong. You need someone to tell you to the face that what you are doing doesn't make sense. You need someone to be able to think alike with. So if you're interested in the mentorship, this is free. There is no money. I am dedicating my time to provide you with the right support. It's not just me. Based on your strengths, based on your interest, I'm going to try to get experienced people in your field to come to advise and guide you. As I said, you are the leader of your life. The goal of the mentorship is to provide you with resources and tools to help you navigate properly. Because I also want the best for Ghana. Maybe I can't change the educational system. The little I can do is that the experience and connections I have, I can use to also support other people. Maybe one day you may be the future president so that you can make Ghana a better place. Maybe you may be the future entrepreneur who is going to keep the economy afloat. Maybe you're going to create a job tomorrow for 10,000 young people. It's just that you are lacking direction today. And you see, the powerful thing about destiny is that if you are to look back in the future, from the future to today and say that, did I ever thought I would get here? You'll be shocked. If someone had told me that I'll be at this level, I'll be like, what? How? But yes, it's happened. That's destiny. But you always need the right information. So if you're interested in my mentorship, as I said, it's very free, 100% free, providing with support, and you should be ready to be disciplined, because you'll be given tasks, you'll be given a book to read, you'll be given assignments, you'll be given projects to do for your own life. So if you don't love yourself, I don't think I should bother. So you can be evicted. You can be evicted. If you are not serious, we'll just leave you to enjoy your life. Chill. So that the few people who wants to be successful can achieve it. It's that simple. But please, love yourself. Care for your life. Believe in yourself. If the whole world says that you're a failure, tell yourself, I wouldn't add my voice to it. If only you knew how your future is, you would think differently. Don't think that the fact that the economy and the situation is really bad, whether you're in the UK, no matter where you are, no matter that the fact that you feel this way, your feelings doesn't define your destination. Your feelings will never. Sometimes our feelings cloud the potentials we have. So it is always good to make friends with people who think differently, so that it will rub off on your mentality. Okay, so please send me a DM on TikTok. Okay, Sweet Debbie 2 is here. You can send her a message. Get in touch with us if you are interested, and if you are willing to pay the price. The price is free, but it's not free. It is free in terms of monetary aspect, but there will be a requirement. If you are given an assignment to read a book, please read it. If you are given courses to study them. If you are given templates to pattern after, please do. Do you know the number of people, the number of young people finishing university every year? It's crazy. Speak to many young people, ask them, what is your ambition for life? Most of them will tell you they don't know.